First to be written into the roll of honour this afternoon is VBOX, and a huge welcome and congratulations to Elaine Sorensen on achieving Business All-Star Innovative Product of the Year for 2023. Congratulations, Elaine, of the same namesake as well. Well done.
Thank you, Elaine.
Elaine, how are you? It's Kieran.
Hello, Kieran. Good afternoon.
Thank you for introducing us to the world of VBOX last year. We put a lot of thought. It's a very important accreditation from the foundation, the most innovative product that has come to our attention over the year, and that goes to VBOX. We'll need to get a little bit technical, right? Mm-hmm. Because that's what I had to do to understand it. And we're going to talk about factory acceptance testing, right?
Yes.
So in other words, we know that factories, whether they be pharmaceutical firms or whatever they might be, place orders on a daily basis for equipment, right? Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's best to test before you install. And this is the piece where VBOX provides the innovation. Do you want to tell the customer where VBOX fits into the factory acceptance testing model?
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Kieran. I suppose it's just on the offset, it seems quite complicated, but it's actually very simple. There are regulations associated with all this factory acceptance testing that's being done across the board for any machines that are commissioned by companies. So VBOX is applicable to the manufacturing industry globally. So it breaks down in pharma, in the likes of cosmetics, in automotive, everywhere. So we're actually concentrating at the moment on pharma, so that we just can focus on one element, and then it'll grow from there with the AIBF accreditation. I'm sure it'll help to profile us more. But the factory acceptance testing and the site acceptance testing has to be carried out. So with VBOX, normally, without a VBOX, engineers would have to travel from where their company has actually built the machine over to where it is on site, and then start testing it. And it could go on for 3 weeks. It usually is a week, but it could go on if they hit glitches for 3 weeks. And you have time lost with that resource. So you have an engineer or 2 engineers that are out. Then there's cost for the engineer's time. There's accommodation, there's flights, there's all these things. So where VBOX sits is it actually allows the pre-site acceptance testing to occur at the factory acceptance testing phase. And that's prior to the company the machine leaving the company and arriving to the customer. So if you like, it intercepts on that gray area that can become very laborious and time losing as well. So VBOX actually allows you to be time cost effective and costs effective. So your project lead times are cut, and then your costs are slashed as well. So the reason why people are using VBOX, and it's heavily used by the pharma at the moment, is because they can see the advantages, where not alone is it going to be lining up with their industry 4.0, the digitalization transformation, sustainability, and the cutting of CO2 emissions, which is the circular economy as well. So it's sitting very well in the corporate objectives, and they can see the advantages of using it. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have to be a little simpler, right? Because I want everybody. I want everybody to get it, right? They haven't had the time I've had to research it and look at it, but. Take us through the case study. So the machine, the equipment is being dispatched to a pharmaceutical company in another country, right? So is the VBOX deployed in the place of origin or destination?
It is employed in both. So engineers at both sides can communicate without actually having to take a flight. And the difference between, a lot of people would say, oh, well, we can do these things sometimes. They can work remotely. We can work remotely and do other sort of testing. And I'm like, no, well, you can't perform the tests. VBOX allows that connectivity to occur, and the flexible connectivity. Not alone that, but it actually doesn't interfere with the networks, which is a huge deal these days, because you have to have that, the networks have to be airtight. They can't be tampered with. The data can't be interfered with either. So it doesn't collect data either. So literally just provides the communication for the testing to occur, and then you switch the button off, it stops. It's as simple as that.
VBOX will confirm to you that everything is in order and the installation can go ahead. That's basically it, isn't it?
Yes, and VBOX can allow you, when you see glitches, to actually work on those glitches immediately without losing time.
And the co-founder with you and director, of course, is Mark Sorensen.
Yes.
But he has a long career in ICT and indeed pharma.
Yes.
How did he obviously he spotted the gap, didn't he? That there was the need for, You want to tell us about that?
So he was working with a pharma company for consulting for 22 years, one in particular, as it happens. And he noticed a niche in an area where, the projects would get delayed substantially. The costs would start to skyrocket. Everybody would be waiting for the testing to get done. It seemed to be really time laborious as well. And then you have the customer at the other side screaming, saying, where's the machine? Why isn't it ready to go into production? So there was a lot of time, and accepting the fact that there was a lot of time lost. Whereas with VBOX now, they actually realize that they don't have to accept all this time delay, and it's just more efficient. So Mark had seen this kind of area, and in 2013 he started working on this idea with me, and then he obviously has the complete expertise on the technical end, and together then we worked on how we would put it together. I was looking at the marketing side, he was looking at the product, the service, the cloud, how we would support it, because it's 24/7 support is available. And he would have created it from scratch, and I would have been involved in all the aesthetics to do with it then after that, and then marketing it. So it's been around a long time, but it was the same. We wanted to be really confident that it worked like we had hoped. So he had it tested with pharmas for the last number of years. So it's only when I came on board 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, that I really relaunched at the RDS manufacturing exhibition last year, then we started selling it. And COVID really highlighted the need for a product like this. And now that people understand, a bit like Kapil was saying, people working hybrid, now people understand that there are tools out there, there are network solutions out there that can actually make life much easier, not alone for the engineer, but for the company, save costs, save time. Industry 4.0 is sitting in the middle of it all, and it makes sense.
And don't you also have a leasing or rental model? Isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, we don't sell the boxes at all. We actually lease them, and we can look at a 3, 6, or 12-month lease plan, and depending on the customer requirements. And we also can look at, if it's a thing they feel that they really only need it for a month. But usually what happens is once they use it, they want to keep it because they find other projects they can use for it. And they have a secure line with us as well. We give them a secure code that is individually theirs, so it's not interfered by anybody else.
Wonderful. And as a Limerick man, how can I claim that it's a Limerick product? Is that a fair point?
It is, even though Mark is a Cork man living in Limerick. I managed to fish him back to Limerick, but it's his idea. And like that, it's completely, I have to hand over everything to the brains of the product to Mark. I actually wanted to call it brains in a box, but he didn't allow me. He said, no, we're going to call it a virtual box. It's a virtual connection in a box. And that's why it's called VBOX.
Wonderful.
So
wonderful.
We have lots of other ideas as well for other products, but we're just going to stick to the knitting, as they say, the focus, get this one really integrated. And also, I suppose, just with the whole AIBF involvement, it's really going to help profile our company, and that's what we need right now. I mean, in the mishmash of all the technology and all of the social media that's out there, whether I think the print element has gone down as well as far as circulation is concerned. So to have something that's online and AIBF support and acknowledgement for the team as well is really amazing for us, because we're a small family team. And
but I mean, it's going to disrupt inefficiency. It disrupts labor inefficiency, time, etc. It has the potential to be a smash hit, hasn't it? I mean, to be a global.
It really has.
Yeah, it does.
really
It
has.
does.
And
Yeah.
Kieran, I suppose we have to acknowledge as well that just before Christmas we got into the States, and we were in there with trepidation because it was a first. But in the last few weeks they started using it. It worked very well, and we began to understand other elements whereby if a customer hasn't got good, strong network internet, VBOX can't participate and be used like it should. So one of the American companies that were using it just didn't have good internet, and it just was a game changer, you know. So now we've stipulated ahead of time, your internet has to be, you know, at a certain level to use VBOX effectively. Yeah, so there's learnings in everything, but it's been well received, and it is a game changer in the manufacturing industry, and it's just about getting it out there. I mean, the one thing we're doing next week, we're going to be in Dusseldorf in Interpack. Now, unfortunately, we couldn't manage to exhibit because that would be the position we'd want to be in, but they were booked for 2 years solid in advance because they hadn't exhibited for 6 years. So we had no choice. But we're going to walk the boards and meet companies and just tell them about us. And that's really it. Yeah.
Well, tell them that we said it's the most innovative product in Ireland in 2023, you know, so I think it's wonderful. And
thank you, Kieran.
Again, working with Capil, getting the most from it, from a marketing and what your expertise is. But we are sending you back to the market as best in class, and we congratulate you most sincerely. It's always a pleasure to speak with you, and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Kieran. I'd like to take this opportunity also to thank Elaine and to Capil and Dr. Briga Hines, whom I respect very much. And I'm delighted to see that she's been involved in this decision making as well. And it's a real pleasure for us to deal with the IBF and to see that we can actually use the platform of the actual award to, you know, propel us forward.
Well done. Well done, Elaine.
Thank you, Elaine.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elaine. It's been fantastic learning of your progression as well, but also of the appetite that you have, you know, to spread the word and to really get it out there. And this is, look, testament to you visiting so many international fairs and exhibitions such as you are next week. So I look forward to checking in with you very deeply, maybe in a conversation. Yes, we're going to meet between now and the next couple of months, but, you know, to reflect back maybe in 12 months time, everything that's happened in the meantime, because I feel it's going to be a busy 12 months ahead.
Yes, I hope so, and I expect so. And if I have anything to do with it, we will be very, very busy, because I'm hoping to get more staff on board and to employ my son officially. Actually, he's just finishing in UL, as it happens. He's doing international business with German, and he's finishing, but he's been in the background helping us the whole entire time. And he is so passionate that if we manage to employ him and get him on board with me, we would be very lucky indeed.
Very good. You can't beat keeping it in the family. Well done, Elaine.
Thank you.